When was the most popular board game Monopoly even invented? Some say it was by the Parker Brothers in 1935, but this is Lizzie McGee, 15 years before women were allowed to vote, and at a time when women held less than 1% of US patents, Lizzie was doing just that, well before she was one of America's first game devs. In 1905, Lizzie started popularizing a game about renting and owning that critiqued land monopolies called The Landlord's Game. Her game even had chance cards, it had trains, except in her game, the trains had the novel ability to let you travel, something that the modern game still has not integrated for nearly a century. But more importantly, it also had a mode that let players actually focus on cooperation called Anti-Monopoly. So just to clarify, the most popular board game in the world was invented by a woman, but then bought, popularized, and sanitized by the Parker Brothers. And you are never gonna believe how much they ended up paying for it. That's right. Decades later, and after Monopoly becomes a household name, another game called Anti-Monopoly would revive those ideas. In 1970, it ended up at the center of a lawsuit to determine whether or not anybody could actually use the word monopoly itself. That story gets complicated, but let's get down to business. Lizzie McGee's concept was rooted in critique and discussion, so in other words, social gameplay. But what new and exciting things do we get from Monopoly these days? Curb Your Enthusiasm Monopoly, credit card systems, and trains that are still just for visiting. Players have always had a hunger to bring their perspectives and their whims to gameplay, and thanks to the pandemic and honestly to Stranger Things, it is clear that that hunger is fully exposed. So now, in 2026, Monopoly might be stuck in iteration mode, not because Lizzie's ideas never worked, but because they were abandoned. That's where I come in. Monopoly RPG seeks to reignite those ideas by bringing your perspective to the game. And it seeks to continue this exact discussion that Elizabeth Lizzie McGee started over 100 years ago. So join the discussion. Find me on Kickstarter.